Benoît Coeuré, thank you for being with us. You are a member of the Executive Committee of the European Central Bank, which is a rather important role these days. There seems to be a supposition by some people that the euro crisis is behind us. Is that a premature feeling?
Well, first, thank you for the conversation. I wouldn't say the crisis is behind us. I would say that conditions are in place for the crisis to end, but still it will take time for all actions to be taken, to be implemented, for this to feed through the European economy and through markets, and then victory can be declared. But the conditions now are met, but it will still take some time, I would say.
And do we have enough time?
I think that's a very relevant question. I think the challenge for policymakers now is to regain control of time. And what we've seen in that crisis since 2010 is that policymakers in Europe have been running against time, against the time that has been imposed to them. So they have to regain control of time, and for that to happen, they have to be credible and clear in setting objectives, in setting a path towards euro area reform. This is very much what President Van Rompuy has tried to achieve in his report, and I hope that this will be discussed and agreed by the European Council.
It seems to me there was a marked change, positive change, in market sentiment as soon as Mario Draghi said that the ECB would do whatever it took to save the euro, to solve this crisis. Now, if you go back a few months before that, David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, said that Europe needed the big bazooka. Now, there wasn't a big bazooka at that time. Do you wish that there had been? I know that the ECB was constrained by the rules.
I wouldn't phrase the conversation in terms of bazookas. All European institutions have to contribute to stabilize the situation within their mandates. So the ECB has done what we've could within our mandate through the outright monetary transactions, and I can confirm that we're very resolute and firm, and that whenever the conditions are met, this will take place. Now, also, a lot has to be done, and probably most of it has to be done by governments. And they have their own bazooka, which is the European Stability Mechanism, which is also a big step in the right direction.
In terms of going beyond the euro crisis itself, but nonetheless connected to it, do you feel that the financial sector as a whole is healthier now than, had the excesses of lending that led to the subprime mortgage crisis in America, then Lehman Brothers in 2008. With Basel III, do you think that now things are on a much firmer footing?
Basel III will certainly put the global financial sector on a much firmer footing. Now, you have to be sure that Basel III is implemented. And the delay or even the intention to delay that we see in some areas is troubling. There is an international commitment to Basel III. It is an important contribution to stabilizing financial markets, so Basel III certainly should be implemented. And that's for the European Union, that's also for the US. Now, Basel III is an important contribution because it sets the structure, the framework in which everything is organized. Now, also individual financial institutions have to be strong. They have to be strong capital, strongly capitalized. They need strong liquidity. And in that respect, European banks have been improving. And this has been documented by the European Banking Agency. The so-called capital exercise of the EBA has been completed, and it shows that a lot of additional capital has been injected in European banks. So there is no room for complacency, certainly. We have to make sure that the level of capital is maintained or even improved in the transition to Basel III, but still there has been a lot of progress, I would say.
A final question, in a sense, going back to the big bazooka and to Mario Draghi's comments. Is the ECB going to become, at some point, a genuine lender of last resort?
I don't think, again, that's the right way to shape the discussion. The ECB is a lender of last resort for banks, because this is a normal role of any central bank, provided that banks have capital, provided that they have collateral. The ECB will support liquidity in the banking sector. I don't think that the concept of a lender of last resort for governments is really firmly theoretically rooted. So the ECB will contribute to remove tail risk, remove catastrophic risk from markets, to make sure that reforms, efforts done by governments can be successful, that they can be successful. And now it is not up to us to decide if they will be successful. This is really in the hands of governments, so they have their fate in their own hands.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. Benoît Coeuré, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Merci.